So,
Let's
hello, welcome to the first podcast. And
thank you.
let's introduce yourself. Who are
Uh,
you?
so
What do you do? And how did
yeah,
you come to Jainism?
my name is Pavitra Doshi, and I'm born in a Jain family. So
Uh,
that's I'm inherently Jain. No, not I'm not a Jain by choice.
of
Uh, I
course.
read I read about Jainism afterwards, and I liked it the philosophy the Jainism has towards life. So I I liked it pretty much, and I read about Jainism a lot and kind of try to apply it. And yeah.
But when did you get deep into Jainism? Like, was it from the beginning, from childhood, or later?
When I was a child, I didn't really understand the philosophy part. I was into the religious part, like rituals and
Yeah, same,
uh,
same.
yeah. So in the beginning, that was the case, and then as I start reading about it and start understanding about it, then I came to realize that it's it's a whole different thing.
Yeah, it's a completely different thing.
The
Yeah,
religious part is different and the
yeah,
philosophy part is different. And
it's way
yeah,
more different.
it may have occurred when I was maybe 18 or 19 or so.
Okay. Yeah, it's the same thing for me. When I started, I had studied for 2 years in a Gurukul type school where I was taught Jainism, but all the ritualistic part was more prominent.
So, so
While
when
I
was
didn't know much about the philosophical part, I just knew the basics the tattva and dravya and all this stuff. But
you
more
were also
philosophical,
born, you were also born in a Jain family?
yeah. I was born in a Jain family. My mother was really religious, and even my
Yeah,
father was
right,
religious. So I knew
right,
all the kriya and all the physical aspect of the Jainism,
right,
the
right.
puja part, and I knew the pratikraman and everything. But I never knew much deeper philosophy, like the karma siddhant we have,
Hmm.
or uh, the all the deeper things.
So
So later on, yeah.
when
So
did you start reading about Jainism or the reading
yeah,
about the
much later.
philosophy?
I guess after I was 20, yeah, after 21, 22 age, I started reading about all the philosophies. And I
Right,
suddenly got interested in all this. I was also interested in astrology. So I started studying astrology. And then after a year, I came into philosophy. Then I studied
right.
Buddhism, Vedanta, and then I came back to Jainism. Like I was studying all the three religions of India. And
Oh,
then I found out about Jainism, all the philosophical aspect, and it was just amazing. And after that, I've been like day and night, I'm just reading about Jainism, all the
right, right.
philosophical aspects. And I also, and then I did the course from Mumbai University about Jainism. And now I'm planning to do masters in Jainism from
Right.
Mumbai University. So yeah, and
So you are doing PhD in Jainism, right?
yeah, I'm planning to do, but due to the work and everything, it might be difficult because it's a full time thing. It's not difficult to do it part time, but I'm planning to do PhD. I want to focus on that more
So
compared to the work.
when did the idea of doing a PhD occur to you? Like
Uh,
you when did the idea of
like when I
studying?
realized about all the courses and all, I never thought that courses will be available of Jainism in Mumbai University. Like it was shocking, but they have an entire department of Jainology here in Mumbai University. Like just
Right.
like in Rajasthan, I guess in Jaipur is there.
Ah,
Then
yes.
in
Right.
even the Banaras Hindu University in Uttarakhand. No, not Uttarakhand, Uttar Pradesh. There is
Hmm.
Jainism. They could teach Jainism, masters in Jainism. And, you can do further PhD. But in Mumbai also there is this course. So yeah, then I did the basic certificate course, and now I'm planning for masters. But because of the lockdown, it's postponed as of now. But I'm reading completely day and night about Jainism. So I feel like I've done like I've studied more than the masters thing, but I need to complete the masters now for
Right.
degree. So yeah.
So which part you are particularly interested in, right? Uh, what will you be doing masters in?
Like masters in philosophy and specialization in Jainism.
Okay, right.
As for PhD, I haven't thought about any subject, but my plan was like a comparative study between Vedant, Buddhism, and Jainism. That should be my PhD topic, maybe. Like I haven't decided yet, but yeah,
Right.
that's what I'm thinking about. Because these three religions have so many similarities, but there are so many major differences, like very minute level differences, which make them
Right.
apart,
Apart.
which make them different than each other.
That's the reason they were apart from
Yeah,
in the first place. They
yeah,
were
and
different.
they were all these three religions have been there from last like 2000 years at
Ah,
least. Historically,
right.
2000 years at least, 2500 years. But the thing is, many people confuse them as similar. Like recently I went to Summit Shikhar, and there were people like it was so funny. The people that were walking besides me, they were like asking each other that is the Bodh Gaya the Gautam Buddha the same like our Gautam Swami?
Ah,
And I
right.
was like, I felt really bad that they don't even know that this is different thing. Both are different
Even
people.
I, even at one point, I have to confess, I was also confused that Gautama Swami and Gautam Buddha
Yeah,
are same thing or
but
not.
these were like
Uh,
a 40, 50-year-old gentleman, and they were talking about this. So it was quite weird for me.
yeah,
That even these basic things people don't know. Like they think
right.
it's really different. So there are so many differences between these three religions, and also similarities. But that's the
So,
but the best thing is the cultural diversity that India had. Like these three
mm,
religions historically were like so massive. Even the Mauryan Empire and all those times,
right.
Jainism and Buddhism were so prominent, and even the Vedic thing was happening during that time. So yeah,
Why
but
do you think there's a huge gap between the followers of like Hinduism and Jainism? Why do
I
you
think it's
think it
just
is?
the cultural thing. It's like as the time passed by, I guess the population declined of Jainism. It's
Right.
just the basic cultural thing. I don't think any significant is there, like
So,
because
is
earlier
there
Jainism had Jain people were a lot, like in crores, but and Buddhism went completely at Southeast Asia and Northern Asia, like China, Japan, and so Buddhism went out, and Hinduism was prominent, and even the kings after the Mauryan Empire, because Chandragupta Maurya was a Jain, Ashoka was a Buddhist, but after Mauryan Empire like collapsed, the next all the kings were mostly Hindus, so
right?
automatically the people will like become Hindus because the ruler is Hindu. So yeah, there has always been like ups and downs between these three
So
religions,
was
like
there
population.
was there any lack of leadership uh, in Jainism? Like
Like
the
historically, it is difficult because we had many great kings. Like we can think of Samprati Raja and the main Chandragupta Maurya, the starter. He started the Mauryan Empire, which is still considered as the biggest Indian empire in last 2000 years. So there has been many kings who were Jains and many who were Hindus and many who were Buddhists. So I think it was all
Mhm.
equal. But yeah, right now
Right,
the population wise, Jainism is like only 1 crore. Officially, it's just 40 lakhs, but I don't think it's 40 lakhs. I think it's more than 40 lakhs, of course.
right, right.
So, yeah, the
So
population is
let's let's talk about the historical part, where like
yeah,
when Jainism started or kind of thing. Like
yeah,
when
like
we cannot exactly point out the exact date
yeah,
or
because
like that, but
according to our
there,
according to our scriptures and all, there is no beginning or end to Jainism.
right.
Whenever Tirthankar comes, the Jainism as its
And it is said
inception
that
is
it has been going
yeah,
on for so many years and it will
fine.
go on for
Yeah,
infinite years. Yeah,
it will like it will completely cease to exist once the sixth
yeah,
time cycle come, the sixth era come, and then again when the fourth era comes, the first Tirthankar will come, and again the Jainism will begin. So it's just the way it is. But historically, according to the proofs
Eh,
like of the
like
archaeological and those people, I was researched that they accept Bhagwan Mahavir and Bhagwan Parshvanath as historical
uh,
figures, like
yeah,
because they have all the enough proofs. But
evidence
before
and
that,
proof.
they think it's all mythological uh,
Okay.
figures because they don't have enough proof.
That's a very significant. mm what do we say? A difference between the Jainism text and the history.
Yeah,
So
there's
in
a
Jainism text, it is repeatedly said that there are 24 Tirthankaras,
yeah,
Rishabdev being the first of them.
this one, yeah.
And when you read the history part, like original history part, you will see that they don't accept the fact that they don't consider it the Rishabdev was uh, the
Yeah,
first
they,
Tirthankar. The history starts from the Parshvanath Bhagwan, no?
yeah. But one more thing is, because if we think before Parshvanath Bhagwan, Nevinath Bhagwan was like how many? Lot of years back. So it's difficult to get proofs right now, the physical proof. Like that time ka some lipi or anything or some murti or it's difficult to get such a old thing
How
because
do how
science
do the
works.
how do the Jain texts talk about those things? If there
Jain text
was
talk about,
no talk about like Tirthankaras before Parshvanath.
yeah, we have the existence till the Rishabdev was like millions of years ago. Like we cannot even calculate.
No,
Matlab, we can calculate, but
there,
it's out of our mind. Like
there, there is no archaeological evidence or like that,
yeah,
something like
I
that.
don't think it's even
Which
possible. Like how can it be possible? Because millions of years ago.
how it is in text? No, that's my question. How it is mentioned in text?
Yeah, because as the Jainism has survived completely, and as a new like Tirthankara came and they told about this, plus the acharyas, and it has just been there completely. Like right now, we know we
Mhm.
will teach it to our next generation. They will teach it to next generation. That way, the thing is continued, and we have been very good in saving the text, the scriptures. Like not
Right,
all, of course. Like right now, whatever is available, they say it's just a very less percentage of entire what existed
truly.
in a time. So yeah, but we have still been pretty good in surviving the main actual scriptures and all. So as per the Shwetambar sect, but Digambar sect doesn't accept the agams that we the Shwetambars read. So there's a difference in that. But
Right.
still,
So
still
you
the
are Shweta. Right?
yeah, by birth I am Shwetambar, but that is like I
It
read
doesn't
many
matter.
Digambar scriptures and everything. Even
Okay.
I listen to all the Digambar Pandit lectures every day almost. Because
Right.
and the thing is same, like there is so much similarity. Everything is similar. There is hardly any
Right.
difference. Major differences are in the kriya, the
Difference in rituals and the
in the
other.
rituals.
There's no difference in philosophy. No difference
Philosophical
in
part,
philosophy.
there are very minor differences. Like the major things are same, very minor
Right.
differences. So yeah, that's good for. But many people don't know about all these things, so that's a problem. But still,
Right.
then but the thing is, even about the Rishabdev and all the Tirthankaras, uh, even in Hindu Puranas and all, Rishabdev is mentioned. Like he has been
Mentioned.
mentioned
Right.
as a one of the 24 avatars of Vishnu, one of the 24 avatara, and they consider him as the like he was at the beginning of the
Right.
time.
Right.
So yeah, and even in Buddhist scriptures, there has been a lot of mention about Bhagwan Mahavir because he was there around the time Buddha, and according to historical evidence, they say they were both contemporaries, and they were actually at the same region in the Bihar and Jharkhand side. So they both were
Ah,
there, and but maybe they knew about each other or not. We don't know, but this is the historical evidence. They say both time period was same.
right. So do you know that Badrinath
Yeah,
the
I've been there. Yeah,
so that's the place where Rishabdeva went moksha from.
yeah, they are saying, but
Called
the
Astapad.
Kailasha is
It's called
has been
Astapad.
disappeared.
No, it's called Astapad, you know.
Yeah, yeah, but it has been according to our scriptures, it has been disappeared by devas. No? So it doesn't have the like as a human being, we cannot go there as of now. So yeah,
Ah, right. No, but we,
It
for
is somewhere around
worshipping, we.
Kailasha, somewhere around that the Kailash mountain, which is popular.
Hmm.
Yeah, some,
Hmm.
so and even in the Hindu scriptures, they say that Shiva is around Kailasha mountain. So
Hmm.
the area are very similar in all the religions, but still
No,
there are different.
if you have been there, Badrinath, if we go to the temple early morning,
Yeah,
like when they don't do the decorations and all.
yeah, yeah.
Have you been there?
I haven't been early morning, but I was there when it was completely full. There was full rush, and
When we go early morning, we can actually see that
it's
see
just
our
I've read about it that even the South
uh,
Tirupati temple, I've read about it that it is the
uh,
same like our Tirthankara, the Kavachar Mudra, the Murti
uh,
is in the
right,
form. That's very debatable actually. It's what
right,
is
right,
the
but
fact? It's difficult to say. It's difficult
right,
because
right.
we don't exactly know what it is.
So
But yeah, we can
history is
speculate.
always by people. So
Yeah, and
it
history
is
is always this in that history has been written by the winners and not the losers.
not
So
good.
it's really difficult right now to like judge about all this stuff because I've read so much conspiracies like even the existence of Jainism in the Jerusalem where the Judaism and Christianity and all started and all this
Uh,
stuff. I've read about this, but these are all conspiracy theories as of now because how would we? There needs to be a lot of evidence and lot of surveys and what were we
so
talking about? We were talking about this. Yeah, there are many like this WhatsApp forwards and all those stuff about even Jerusalem that was ruled by Krishna, and
right,
there's so many things. Even it
right.
is said that Alexander the Great, who was passing by, and he
Hmm.
was just near to his death, but he met a few Jain monks who advised him about that. Like at the end, it wouldn't matter all this
Right.
trying to the world, entire world. So, and even his, I guess his guru, his teacher was some big philosopher. I forgot his name, and he got advice from some Jain monks. Or there are so many such type of things. Even the
Right.
Greeks had a very good relation, and I read somewhere that in some Greek scripture or something, they have mentioned uh, naked monks who are like Digambar Jain monks. So
Hmm.
there's
Hmm.
such thing. In Buddhist scriptures, there are so much of mentioning of about Bhagwan Mahavir and Digambar monks and all this stuff. So yeah, it
It
is
is
there.
possible because Jain monks used to migrate a lot from place to place. So it
Yeah,
is possible, maybe.
and during that time, maybe the even the reach was more compared to right now. Like India
Ah,
was much bigger. Even the Pakistan, the
bigger,
Afghanistan,
right?
all those
Ah,
areas were in India,
ah.
and India had
There
a
was
very
not
huge.
right, like uh, there were
Even
no
the
country boundaries. So it was
yeah, there were kings, and Indian kings were really powerful. They had a huge reach, and
far.
plus there was a very good
Right.
relations with the Greeks and the Roman Empire and all. So maybe it is possible that many traveled and knew about
Ah,
the similar culture. So it is possible.
right. Possible.
We can like the major difference we find between Jainism and other religions is the Jainism's concept of no creator. Like
Ah,
if we think about the Western religions, the three major religion of
it's
West, they all
not
believe in
about the
the
culture in this. Yeah, they
yeah,
have the
and even in
they have
India,
their.
the 40-50% of religion believe in this, while the rest believe in non-creator. So that's a very unique concept of Jainism. Not completely unique because even Buddhism doesn't believe in creation, and
Okay.
uh, some sects of Hinduism don't believe a god as a creator or something. So
Right.
this is special things about India which I have not found in the Western. Maybe there are maybe some religion in West who might believe this, but I haven't found it right now. The major religion do believe in a creator god. So
Right.
that's a difference between India and
No,
West.
I think in Western part they explicitly believe that the creator is the God. The
Yeah,
the
they believe.
only the only reason they worship. they worship or they believe there is a God is the reason that there is someone who created all these things.
Yeah, and
The
he's the
main
one who is
reason that they believe
yeah,
in God is the creation.
yeah, that's the thing.
They
And I've
implicitly
read
believe that
some
there is God.
yeah, I've read many books where they have really questioned this theory of creation. And there are so many
And
questions like which are so
the-
like we can easily believe like logically if we think about it, then they say that why did God had to create the universe, and
there are
who
long
created God?
philosophical debates going on uh, the existence of God
Yeah,
in Western world. I've
yeah,
seen many videos on YouTube.
yeah, and there's so many questions like that. That if God created the world, why did He create evil? If He's that powerful,
Hmm.
why did He just not create good?
That kind of philosophical arguments are given in
Yeah,
that
those kind of
in
one.
that
And if they
debate.
say that if you praise God and if you like be with like you praise God and God will give you the heaven or whatever, then they say that what kind of a God he is that he wants praises for you.
Ah,
Like he wants to get you have to make him happy so that he will give you something in
hmm.
return. So these kind of arguments are there in the philosophical books.
Yeah.
Like, and these are very logical arguments. Like if you think about it, and even atheists question this theory, na, the creation of God. Even they question it very hardcore way. That how is it even possible that God created universe?
And the biggest argument that is given on in the non-existence of God is the if God created this, then who created God? That's the
Yeah, that's the
biggest
biggest
argument.
argument. That's the biggest. And if he was
So,
always there, why did he create? Like, what's the reason behind creating it? Then they
behind
say
it.
it was God's will. Some say it was important to create, but these are not satisfying answers. Like
Right.
some say it was in the destiny of God to create. So that means that God is
Hmm.
not powerful. There is someone
Bound
beyond God. Because if
beyond God.
it was the destiny to him to create, so that makes a difference.
If he's bound by destiny, then he would not be God, right?
If he is bound by destiny, then he is not all powerful.
Right.
According to that, they say na, he is omniscient, omnipotent. So, so these are many questions which are really difficult to answer
To answer. Right.
in a very logical way. And that's the best thing about Jainism. Like if you look at almost all the theories of Jainism, you can logically some way prove it. Like somehow you can understand it. And
Right.
even the Jainism logic is like Anekantvad and all this is so deep to understand everything. So
Philosophically, it is right. It is very uh, profound. But if we do you believe that as long as we do not find any scientific theories about regarding this, there would not be any answer to this.
but the thing
They
is
would
that
still
science,
remain
because science is mostly based on the Pudgal Dravya,
evidence.
because they are whatever they are experimenting and whatever it is from what we can see, touch, smell, like it
Yes,
is something
right,
about five senses. So it is a matter.
right,
Science is experimenting on matter. They are searching for everything that's related to matter. They don't accept the existence of soul, like
cool, right.
because there is no proof. And according to Jainism, the soul is not something that we can see. So that is we can see, touch, smell. We cannot do that to soul. So it is impossible for science to.
So do you
Uh,
believe maybe in future science would conquer these kind that we are not able to see or like
but I don't think it would be possible because soul cannot be seen through normal any vision or anything.
if we uh, look back in history, there was a time when we were not aware of the electromagnetic radiation other
Yeah,
than light. Right?
yeah. But even
So
that is a Pudgal Dravya. That is very minute, but it is a Pudgal. It is a matter.
right,
Like
right.
out of the six dravyas of Jainism, it's soul
Hmm,
and Pudgal, and rest is
hmm.
time, space, the motion, and rest. So for time and space, yes, science can accept. For matter, they accept, but the
You
motion,
you
the
believe that
rest, and the soul.
you believe So you believe that no matter what, science would not be able to
because it's not possible,
find out.
because the qualities of soul are not something that can be experienced through matter. And science, whatever experiments or whatever science can do it with something object, na, something that is
Exactly.
physically, like even if they test something, they have that equipments and everything. And soul is something that comes in the experience, because it is the it is not something that can be found out through some other
It's not
equipment.
materialistic. Right?
Yeah, it is not material, it is something spiritual. And science, I don't think there is any possibility, because it can only come in the experience, because we ourselves are the soul. So we can only come in our own experience, the soul can come. So it is not
Right.
possible for some other object to find out soul. It's impossible,
Right.
like. So yeah, but they can prove the theory, the different theory, like the universe was infinite. Then Jainism always said that there is a jeev in plants, there's a jeev in rocks, even the sea, water, whatever. There are jeevs,
Mm-hmm.
and they have proven, like there are microorganisms and everything. So
Right.
those things can be proven, but to prove
Mm.
the real existence of soul, I don't think it's possible for a science person to prove it, because it's something in the experience of ourselves. So
So
yeah,
the science, according to science, and there is a evidence to it. It believes that Earth is roughly 3.8 billion years old, right?
yeah, they say
And how ancient do you believe the Jainism or any other religions are? How ancient are those religions?
like
Like a rough
officially
idea, like.
Jainism. I think Jainism and Hinduism are the only two religions who say that we have been there since infinite time. And Buddhism accepts it since last 2500 years when Buddha came.
Mhm.
And mostly the rest of the religions believe their inception through the prophet, like Jesus or Muhammad. When they came, they passed on the message of the God. They believe something like that. So they are like 2000 years old, 500 years old,
Mhm.
1500 years old, 2000 years old. So I think Jainism and Hinduism believe that it has been there since infinite time. The religion, the Vedic religion and the Jain religion. Yeah, the
And
video was stopping. Anyway, yeah.
yeah, there was a call that there was network issue at that. So when I read about Rishabh Deva, the first Tirthankara,
Hmm.
so it is mentioned in the Jain text that he he taught all the kind of skills to the people.
Yeah, yeah. The
So,
Asi Krushi. Yeah,
so Manu, there used to be Manu who used to teach people different kind of skills to live the life,
yeah, yeah.
and, and
It also
also
said
the
the Brahmi script is named after her Rishabh Deva's
daughter,
first daughter,
daughter, daughter.
Brahmi.
Right.
So yeah, it
So
is said.
Rishabh Deva taught his sons different kind of skills, and the
Yeah, yeah.
Brahmi he taught his the Brahmi the Lipi Gyan. It
Ah,
is said the Lipi Gyan.
yeah, it is
So
written. Even in, I guess, even in
what
Hindu scriptures,
do you think
it
it
is.
is? Right. What
I think as per the belief of Jainism, we accept it, because what else? We have the evidence of scriptures. For history, there is
so,
no other of evidence. How can we prove?
so don't you think that the text actually make extraordinary claims which uh,
But the
there is
main thing about,
no significant evidence to it. Do you
well,
think
all
so?
this, because in Jainism, the most important thing, like if you read Tattva Sutra or anything, the path to moksha, the first thing is Samyak Darshan, the right belief.
Samyak
So
darshan.
we start with that. So mostly when we we think about all these concepts of Jainism, and then when these things come up, like the stories, which is called as Prathamanu Yog, where these are the stories. There are four Anuyog, na? Prathamanu Yog, Charnanu Yog, Charnanu Yoga is where we all the rituals and how we should act upon. Then Karnanu Yoga is there, and Dravyanu Yoga. In Dravyanu Yoga, we learn about soul and all the tattvas and dravyas and all. So Prathamanu Yoga is completely on belief, because the story of Ramayana is different in Jainism compared to Hinduism and Buddhism. The story of Mahabharata is different. So it's completely on belief, because it's in any history, like even a normal history,
there is
whatever we learn, whatever we learn,
according
the
to
normal history.
Hinduism, the Ramayana is a bit different, and according to Jainism, the Ramayana is a bit different. There is a
It's all on belief, because there is no other option. Na? There is no other option. Like even a normal history book, when we learn the history of India or anything, what is written, we believe that and we accept it. That okay, this is the history because it has been written in the books. So it's the same thing, because
right.
we cannot go back in time. So there is no possibility to find out all this thing. But Prathamanu Yoga is mostly on the belief, and more important thing is what we get out of the Prathamanu Yoga. Like what we
Right, right.
get out of those stories. What is important to the moral of the story is more important, and also the stories are important, but the moral is way more important. What we learn out of it. So yeah.
Right. So,
But main
so
philosophical focus
you are
is
saying that. So you are saying that we should not focus that much on
no,
historical
we should
facts.
focus, because all these four Anu Yogas are important. All we should focus. There cannot be one more and one less. Like we cannot. It cannot be like that, because then what happens is someone might like Dravyanu Yoga. He would read about soul and the tattvas and dravyas and all, which is good. But then he would leave out the acharan part, the ritualistic part and all that.
So
So that's wrong.
take all the good you can get. No, don't bother about the historical facts. They
Yeah, but
might
that
be true, not be true.
then the belief is not there. Now, if we don't believe in the historical fact, then we won't believe in the Tirthankaras, the existence of Tirthankaras.
In Jain text, it is written that they used to believe that the earth was flat.
Yeah,
So that's how can you believe that?
because we physically cannot, it's not possible for us, because the Jainism, the cosmology of Jainism is so unique and so different, and we are just one part of the infinite, just the middle earth, the Madhya Loka. We are not even a thought in the entire Madhya Loka. So Jainism ka universe is so big, so massive, and it is
Right.
for a human being, especially in the fifth era, it is not possible to reach out of the current universe. So it is not possible. Jainism clearly says that it is not possible for a fifth era human being to even to go towards moon. It is not possible. That's what Jainism says. So that's
Right.
what it is. Like,
No, so we were limited to the a particular area or region
yeah, we are limited
because
to area because
so
of the
so
this
maybe
time.
due to that these claims were made, right, in the history, like the earth is flat or any other
Because it
claim
has been written
that.
in the scriptures, so it has been there since infinite time. And the main,
Mhm.
if when we see any religion, the main thing is in the belief. Let's say if there is a person who follows Islam, so his belief in is in Prophet Muhammad and the Allah. So that's the belief. Then he believes it completely. Of course, there might be some questions he might logically think
Right.
about it, get the answers, but this is purely based on belief. Religions are purely based on belief. So yeah. So when it comes to all these stories and the universe of Jainism and all, it is purely based on belief, because there is no other option. We cannot directly prove it to our
Right.
limited reach. We cannot prove it. But yeah. But the main thing is the philosophical aspect that we can think about on, we can contemplate about it, and so
Right.
that that is where we can ask questions, where we can get answers. So yeah.
Right.
So the philosophical aspect is a lot, because even the karma theory, Jainism says that karma is completely the pudgal. It is in the physical existence. It is there
Right.
in the entire universe. Karma, and our any
Right.
activity of
Right.
soul attracts the karmas, and karmas stick to our soul. So this is what the karma
Right.
theory of Jainism is, which is not same in other
So
religions.
it says that the small you are saying
Yeah, these
pudgal,
are small
they
particles which
stick to
cannot
the
be
soul
seen by
and
normal.
they stick to the soul and make the soul do the things uh,
Yeah,
and
it
attach the karma. Yeah.
like karma is called as a nimit, like it sticks to the soul, and according to some karma, which is whatever is in the uday, that way
Hmm.
the things will happen, the surroundings will happen, whatever it is, like the family we have got, the wife or husband, whatever a person gets, all this happens
Hmm.
because of karma, good, bad, whatever. That's the
Right.
reason many times it happens that the same person who has been so good to us sometimes become really worse. Like the best
Right.
friends become the best enemies. This happens
Best
because
enemy.
till that time we had some good karma. So he, as a nimit, was good to us. Now he will be as a nimit bad to us because we now the bad karma udaya has started. And
Hmm.
the biggest thing of Jainism is that they say that एक द्रव्य दूसरे द्रव्य का करता नहीं है. मतलब one any one particular thing cannot affect other thing. That's the philosophy of Jainism, and that's the reason they
Hmm.
say that you cannot create the universe. One person cannot affect someone else. So even the karma udaya is happening, the person who is there for him his other karmas are activated, and for us it's the different karma. And
Right.
somehow there's something that happens which is very minute, the calculations that the events happen, but that doesn't mean that he's
That
actually affecting us.
that leads to the idea that the God cannot affect you in any way. He cannot
Yeah,
do good or bad to you. Right.
no, it
He
cannot
cannot
be.
do fair or
And
unfair to
the
you.
biggest thing is in Jainism, God, the Swarup of God, the existence of God is that he is Vitaragi. So he has no
These are
attachment, no hatred,
no
nothing. If he
attachment.
is Vitaragi, how can he have a desire to affect someone? That's the biggest question. Even they ask
Right.
that if God, like in other religions, if God is so great, why does he have to affect? Why he has to interfere? So that's the great thing about Jainism. They say that if the God is Vitaragi, he cannot
Why
affect
would
anyone.
God interest in one's benefit or uh, benefit or like wrongdoing? Why would he be interested in it?
Yeah, even good or bad, because
He is
he's
God. Right.
omniscient. He has achieved the all the knowledge, like omniscience. So
Hmm.
he knows everything. Like when God knows everything. He knows all the infinite mothers, fathers, like parents, sisters,
Right.
brothers, whatever he had. But and many people, let's say some five life back, some parents might
Hmm.
have been right now struggling in their current life. Like he can see everything, like his
Right.
enemies might
Right.
be doing well and his friends in the last life might be doing bad, but it doesn't
Right.
affect, like, because he has achieved vitrag. That's the most important thing. In Jainism they say whenever you want to question anything about Jainism, whenever you want to read a scripture, whenever you want to question about anything about Jainism,
Hmm.
the glasses should be of vitrakta, like the judge should be one thing, that vitrakta, detachment, that should be the judge. Through that lenses we need to look at Jainism.
Right.
Whatever the philosophical whatever aspect is, if vitrakta is provided through it, like we can see vitrakta in it, then it is perfect, like, that's the most important thing in Jainism.
Right. And
So
that's a great difference between other religions like Hinduism and Jainism.
yeah, in their like their gods are mostly
Worship.
married, they have
Uh,
children. So but in our, the god, even the idol, it's completely in a meditation form, contemplating. So
hmm.
without any decorations or anything. It's completely CD normal with them. So even the biggest thing about even Jainism is that even a idol is not in a Ashirvad form. He's not giving any blessings, because
Right.
Jainism says cannot. It is not possible. I cannot give
It is
anyone
not
blessing.
possible.
I cannot if affect anyone if it's
Anyone
not possible. I can affect. So even the idols are not in the blessing form. It's in the meditation form, that it's showing that
form.
even you
Right.
should be doing that instead of doing anything else. Just contemplate about who you really are. So that's the great thing about Jainism, which is so unique than different religions. Even in Buddhism, which comes a lot similar to Jainism, but even in that you see Buddha's murti, it is it's in the
Always.
blessing form. But in
Right.
Jainism, not even a single idol can be
I
possible to be in a.
right.
So that's another great difference we can find.
Right. So other religions believe that God is regulating all the happenings in the world. But in
Yeah,
Jainism, it is believed that God cannot regulate. It is already regulated
it
by
is
some
just
kind of laws
some
that
kind of universal law. We say na krambadda padya hai. It's the future is predestined. It's predestined, the
mm,
future. So
interesting. Right.
everything is according to what is going to happen. Already the Tirthankaras have seen it. Like if
Seen it.
Tirthankara
Right.
was there right now and we would have gone to Samasaran, we could see the next birth. That means that whatever karma we are going to do, whatever purushad we are going to do is fixed. Because if he can see the next life, that means that
Right.
that's how it's going to be. So that means
Be
that whatever
right.
we are going to do is already predestined. That's
Destined.
the rule of Jainism.
So that would lead to the fact that even the uh, fact that they would going to be the Tirthankara was already destined.
Yeah, we have already have in the scriptures, the next 24 Tirthankaras are already given. Who are they going to be? Few are
Right.
like Ravana's Jeev, then Krishna's Jeev. They are going to be the next Tirthankara. So it is already fixed. So that clearly
So
means that in next 24 Tirthankara, we don't have a number. Like we are not going to be there because it's already fixed.
so how I mean wouldn't it be difficult for us to still be on that path if already if it is already determined that we are not going to be Tirthankara? Would it be
No,
difficult for us
because
to be on that,
Tirthankaras,
be still on that path?
because in every time cycle in Bharat Kshetra, in half time cycle, 24 Tirthankaras are there. But besides that, there are infinite, like a lot of number of siddhas. Like our main goal is to reach moksha. Is
Oh,
either by
right,
the path of like becoming a Tirthankara or just uh, becoming Siddha. So our
right.
main focus should be of moksha. And Tirthankara is just a naam, it's a naam karma. It's even a karma to become a Tirthankara. It's a Tirthankar naam
Right.
karma, which is one of the most, I think it is the most auspicious naam karma. Just like
Mm-hmm.
Chakravarti, it is a naam karma. Same way Tirthankara is
Mm-hmm.
a naam. So it is, at the end, it is a karma
Right.
to become a Tirthankara, to become a Chakravarti, Vasudev, Prati Vasudev. But our main focus is to destroy all the karma and become a Siddha. So
Right.
even at the end, and the great thing about Jainism is that when we achieve the Siddha, we become the Siddha, there is no, everyone will be equal. Like there is no that someone is higher or lower. Everyone will be equal. Like
There is no
Bhagwan
hierarchy.
Mahavir's soul or even our soul, we both will be Siddhas.
It
Like
does. Right. Right.
so
There is
that's
no
the
kind
point.
of any hierarchical order.
No, there is no order. Where once we achieve
Right.
moksha, it's all are equal. The Jeev
Right.
of Bhagwan Mahavir or our Jeev, it will be equal. And there's a reason,
Right.
like the main reason Aryantanam is said first is because they are showing us the path. So their
Path.
importance
Right. Right.
becomes,
They are the guru is named first before the
yeah.
god.
So
That's the
Tirthankaras
same
are one
thing.
who shows us the path. So they become really
Path.
important. But clearly we can achieve the Siddhahood. Like not now because the fifth time cycle is going on, but once the fourth time cycle comes
Certainly.
back, or in some other like Mahavira Kshetra or in the Adhidweep, anywhere we can. Even the logical thing about this is, if you see the Jain cosmology, the
Mm-hmm.
Adhidweep, Siddhasila and Adhidweep both are equal measurement. Because according to Jainism, a soul's intrinsic quality is to go 90 degrees to the up. Without karma,
After
soul exactly goes 90 degrees to the Siddhalok. And according to Jainism, only from Dhaidweep we can achieve moksha. So Siddhashila and Dhaidweep are exactly same size because only from there we can achieve moksha. So infinite universe, but all other places there is no possibility of moksha. So there cannot be exactly above something like. So
Mhm.
Siddhashila is whatever the size is the same like the Adhidweep because from Adhidweep we achieve the moksha in the same size. So
Right.
see, so much logic is applied everywhere. Like it's so logical.
So
That is the only area which
where
I
do
can
you
go
think
about.
this where do you think this Dhai TV is geographically located?
Like we are just a small part of the Adhidweep. and it's all it's the in the middle earth according to Jain cosmology.
So to be born in that geographical location would be
Yeah, that's the only way we can achieve. There is so many things, like we have to be born as a human being. Uh, we have to be Sainik Panchendriya. Like there are many Panchendriya jivas, but the pan- we need to be Sangi Panchendriya. It's very important. The Panchendriya. Yeah, yeah.
so the first
Yeah, so according to
prerequisite
Jain
to get
cosmology,
so to get the moksha, the first prerequisite is to be born as a human being.
yeah, first thing is to be born as a human being who should have mind to think.
Fine,
Like,
right,
that's important because according to Jainism, there are in many number of human beings who don't even have mind.
fine.
Like there are samuchim jiva who we cannot see through eyes, but they are human beings who are existent. These are all the
Okay,
concepts of Jainism.
right.
But yeah, we need to
And,
have mind. We need to have Dev Shastra Guru like around us.
and to be a human being, it is governed by the past karma, right?
Yeah, we become human being by our past karmas, by our past parinam, our thoughts, like
Right.
how we have lived our life, not just from outside but from inside too, and how
Even
much we had the ruchi, like how much we had the enthusiasm or passion for knowing ourselves and becoming siddha, like
like bhav, you are saying bhav,
the how, yeah, because
right?
that is more important, na? Because like let's say punya to is easy, like we do a donation and we can get punya out of
Can
it.
right, right.
But more important is our parinam, that what we thought, what is going on inside us, that makes us. It took us
The
infinite time.
intentions and bhav govern the
Yeah,
karma, right?
yeah. So it took us infinite time to become a human being. Then you
Mhm.
to get mind, then to get the like the Dev Shastra Guru ka knowledge,
Right.
to
Like to
get
be born.
Jains, to be born as a Jain. But there are so many Jains. Like there are like 1 crore Jains right now, just in this our universe. And
Right.
out of that, many few, like 1% or 2% people know or
No.
follow Jainism.
Right. Right.
So yeah, there's so many things that come together finally. But the most important thing is if you are thinking about all this stuff, if you are getting all this stuff like through lectures, books, or whatever, that means
Hmm.
that somehow you are on the path.
Path. Right.
Maybe at the beginning or whatever, but you are in the path. Like you are. They say na, that in few lives it is a possibility to achieve moksha because we are talking about it, we are thinking about it whole day, we are following it. So yeah.
Right. And it is said in Jainism that only human beings can achieve moksha. Not even Dev
Yeah,
can.
because it's a simple logic. For devas, they have a lot of pleasure, so they cannot leave that pleasure. They have
Right.
infinite number, like they have infinite number of pleasure,
Pleasure.
and they
So
are
it is
completely busy in it.
kind of very difficult or impossible to be on that
Yeah,
path.
because they
Having
cannot
those
do tyag.
pleasure.
Na, the most important thing in to achieve moksha is first is samyak darshan, samyak gyan, and samyak charitra. So
Charitra.
samyak darshan, devas, some devas like the higher devas have samyak darshan,
Have some of
but
that.
to have samyak charitra is not possible for devas. Like to take diksha, to become vairagi, it's not possible.
Right.
So that's the thing. And the narki, even narki in narak samyak darshan is possible, but they are in too much pain that they cannot become a sadhu. They cannot
Sadhu.
become that. And Tiryansh, same thing, that they don't have that. Like of course the plants animals we can see around compared to devas and narki beings, we cannot see them.
Hmm.
But like humans are different than plants, animals, and all. They don't have that mind, or they don't have
I
that thinking capacity, or those things.
right.
And in human, everything is neutral. Like the pleasure, pain is there is no exceeding pleasure or no exceeding pain.
Right.
Like but even in human being, we need to have the fourth era. Like because in the first era, second era, third era, there is too much of pleasure.
Hmm.
It's called a sukham time. There is a lot of pleasure, and in the sixth era and fifth era, there is a lot of pain, dukkham, and dukkham, like that.
So
So only the
in
middle, in the fourth era, it
one
is possible
are you
to
saying
achieve moksha.
the six eras in one life cycle? Are you saying that?
No, no. Like the overall time is like infinite, uncountable time.
No, no, you are talking about eras, no, like Sukham and what you were
Yeah. So
saying.
we are in the fifth era, na, the Dukkham era. And after this, the sixth
Okay.
era will come, which is the Dukkham era.
Right, right,
Then
right.
it will go reverse. So even in the extreme situations like Dukkham era, it will be completely extremely pain. And in the
Mhm.
Sukham era, it is completely pleasure. Even in those times, a human being cannot achieve moksha. It has to be fourth era. And I guess it is the end part of the third era. The first Tirthankara is born.
Mhm.
So Rishabdev was born in the end part of the third era.
Third era,
So
right.
yeah, but there are jivas who have achieved moksha in the fifth era, but they were born in the fourth era. Like
Mhm.
so they had that capacity.
So the ones who
To,
are born in fifth and sixth era cannot achieve more.
yeah, because it's just the time period is like that. The declining time is going on, so it's not
Right.
possible.
So shall we go ahead, or
Uh, let's talk about some one more topic about Jainism. Like let's talk about the ritual aspect of Jainism. Like because many people run away from Jainism because of the ritual aspect,
rituals,
because
right?
they think that it's too strict.
Maximum, almost all of them, we can say.
Yeah,
Only
because the
few.
meaning they don't. Yeah, because they don't understand the meaning behind it. That's the biggest problem. Like the basic
They
thing
don't
about
care
not.
about the philosophical part. They are just uh, concerned about the religious part.
There are two types of people. One are that are completely good at rituals, no doubt about it, but they don't know the meaning behind it. They are not. They don't even know the philosophical aspect. That why are they doing it? They just do it for the sake. So that's and we can find many people who are like that. Your video is lagging actually.
Uh,
Even your audio is lagging.
is it lagging?
It's showing poor connection on my side. I don't know, but it's connected. Anyway,
So
you can hear me, na?
right, I can hear you. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Then I think it will record. It's just not showing properly the audio and video, but it's okay. Yeah.
Is it still lagging or is it proper now?
No, now it's fine.
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, there are people who are just into the ritual part, and there are people who are just into philosophical part.
Yeah, and there is a word for them in Jain scriptures. It is called Nishayabhasi and Vyavharabhasi. So
Right.
Nishayabhasi are the people who who are complete like who just consider one aspect of Jainism, and Vyavharabhasi are the people who consider one aspect of Jainism. Like it is important, uh, everything should be equal. Like even the that Moksha Marka, the shlok, that Samyak Darshan Gyan Charitra, all three together represent Moksha Mark.
Smart.
Like
Right.
so, all three should be there. It cannot be that there is Samyak Darshan, but the Charitra is not there. And
Not
it's not
there.
possible. Like once the Samyak Darshan comes, automatically the Jiva will go ahead for Charitra if he is into the Moksha
Right.
Mark. So, but yeah, all three things should be there equally.
Right. So
Because if belief is there,
there
but there
should
is no
be
knowledge,
the belief part, like you have to
the
believe
knowledge part
in the knowledge part, right?
and the Charitra, the Acharan part,
The behavioral part, right?
behavior part, yeah.
Yeah. All of them should be there to achieve moksha, right?
Yeah, because if one of the thing is not there, then how is it possible? Like, let's say someone is really good in the behavior part, but he
Right.
doesn't have the belief. Like, he doesn't believe in the soul. He doesn't believe in the karma theory. Then
Right.
he is a mithyatvi jiva. Like, he doesn't believe in all these theories, na? So it's not possible.
So to achieve
So the
moksha,
charitra path is useless in a way. Like, he might
to
get
achieve
some
moksha, is it
karma.
necessary to worship the Tirthankaras? It is necessary to worship the Tirthankaras or the Siddhas or acharyas
The
or
main
any.
reason to worship Tirthankaras, the Panch Parmeshi, the main reason is like there are many reasons, but main reason is for our spiritual progress. Like in other religion, they praise God for the sake of praising the God. In our religion, we do the bhakti whatever for our own sake, like
For our own
because we
self,
want to
right?
achieve that. So we want
We
to.
want to,
It's a simple thing. We make like in real life also when a kid, like for example, a kid wants to become a footballer, he wants to become like a Messi, then he will do whatever Messi has done in his life, try to replicate it. So even he becomes that. It's something like that. So
it's
and
not
also
necessary.
there is also some spiritual and metaphysical aspect about that. By praising and doing all those activities, our parinam improve because like let's say someone is completely angry or in a very like anger or anything like that, and instantly thinks about or praises or he
Mm,
instantly goes to some nearby
right.
temple and sees the murti and becomes calm. So all this aspect is also there that it improves our parinam, like by doing by thinking about them, by praising them. So
It helps
bhakti
to
part is
surrender us, like to remove
yeah.
the.
So there has been so many network issues, and so let's. I think we should end this first podcast. Later on,
Right.
we can plan some scheduled with
Uh-huh.
a proper planning because there
Yeah.
has been a lot of disturbance here. So
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
And we
So
can, yeah,
yeah, carry on.
yeah, we can like mention the topics which we are going to
Yeah, in
talk
the
about.
description, and we can talk about it. We should do it next time. This was just a basic a test podcast, the first podcast.
Yeah.
So
First
yeah, it
podcast.
was general topics about Jainism.
Right.
But yeah, we will continue. We'll do some great topics,
Right.
and
Right.